This is Flip Flop.
Welcome back to another Flick Flops, the podcast where we explore the worst and the best of cinema. Someday we'll look at the best of cinema. Anyway, this week we take on the mysterious oil rig set thriller, The Black Demon, where Josh Lucas and his family take on a megalodon, or is it a curse from an angry Aztec god? Join us as we discover, is the Black Demon worth a bite, or did it need a bigger boat? That is the dumbest intro ever.
You're going to need a bigger boat. I definitely think they need a bigger boat.
So dumb. Anyway.
The Black Demon.
Does not, first of all, the name does not give away what this movie's about. You have to look at the poster, which sort of helps. You've got it right there.
This is a hint of what it's about.
That pretty much sums it up. Yeah.
Which I'm going to play dumb here.
Or this could be like The Inconvenient Tooth. I don't know. I just came up with that. I'm workshopping that one.
I do. I oddly enjoy that. That was funny.
Shoot.
Put it in a lockbox.
A lot. Okay, yeah. Well,
yeah. So I'll show my ignorance here because I don't know much about the animal kingdom. But is a megalodon a real thing? I mean, is it like a prehistoric shark?
I think that's what it is a prehistoric. I don't think it's real. Should we fact check?
I probably should have looked at it. I mean, I assume it is because I saw in doing some research, I saw somebody showing a picture of a megalodon tooth.
Here you go. It's an extinct species of megatooth shark that lived about approximately 23 to 3.6 million years ago.
So this is based in fact that there's a megalodon living out off the Gulf of Aden.
Well, remember, according to this, is it just a big shark, or is it the Aztec curse?
The Black Demon.
Yeah. So that's the whole thing. The gist is you don't know. Actually, you do. I mean, it kind of gives away what they think it is, but it's a very thinly disguised eco thriller. It's like stop with the oil drilling off the shores, and you're signing off. Okay, well, I don't want to spoil the entire.
Hey, Gary, you know what?
Oh, shut up, Gary. Let's talk about the numbers.
Yeah. Rotten Tomatoes on the Black Demon. Critics 11. I'm gonna let that sink in for a
take on that one.
11 based on critics' reviews.
Is that two ones?
It's just it's a 1 and a 1. Audience has it at 68. That's I lean a little more towards the audience on this one. I do not think
that's a little high, but yeah,
I don't think it's. I mean, that makes it fresh according to the audience, and I'm not sure that's being generous with it.
Yeah.
I could not find a budget number on this thing at all. I saw one that said 50 million, and I was like, I couldn't verify that, so I'm not gonna say that. You can take that out and post.
Vaguely, but somewhere between 0 and 50 million.
Exactly. No more than 50. The box office worldwide take for this bad boy, $2.2 million.
Wow.
That comes in as a flop.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure it costs more than that to make this movie. I would guarantee that.
Yeah.
So let me find a critics review I pulled off of this one.
Yeah, and I will say before we actually get into our note stuff, I will say I don't have a lot of notes on this movie.
I have some, and
so I'll just kind of follow your lead on this and pipe in where I've got some stuff to say, but it's not a whole lot.
Well, as like previous movies, I was first curious, like, am I gonna need subtitles for this one?
You did
luckily I did not.
You did not.
But so this one critic, his name is Randy Myers from the San Jose Mercury News. I enjoyed his review. It made me chuckle. So his review is, quote, sometimes after a grueling day at work where everyone's demanding a pound of flesh from you, you need a killer shark movie to properly unwind. This is not that movie.
Yeah. This should not be shown during Shark Week.
So, it made me giggle a little bit. Something interesting I found This movie was directed by Adrian Grunberg. Now, I don't know if you know a whole lot about him or not. I did not. I looked him up, and
He does have something under his belt.
he does. He's a nominated for an award for one of his previous films. He directed or wrote. I can't remember which one it was for sure. Or directed. I'm reading it right now. He directed Rambo: Last Blood, and he was nominated for a Golden Raspberry Award for worst director.
That's what I meant. He had a Golden Raspberry under his belt.
So as I'm watching this and I was reading this, I was like, well, I guess. I mean, I don't want to dump on him here. Let me give you my notes on it. We'll see where
Is that really all he's? Oh no, I know what he's done that I actually did enjoy. He let me make sure I get this right. Let me check his stat here. Get the Gringo. Have you seen this movie?
I have not.
Okay, it has Mel Gibson in it.
Oh, I remember that now. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, not a bad movie. I thought. I actually kind of enjoy. I'm kind of a Mel Gibson fan. I like his stuff. I
am too, sugar tits.
Don't get to see him enough. Thank you for that. Don't get to see him enough anymore. Reasons.
No,
but
yeah.
Speaking of Mel Gibson, real quick, this is Jaws meets Apocalypto. This movie, in a sort of way, sorta. Although the only thing is, I don't think there's nearly enough murder in this one.
No. Well. So hold on. There is. I'm going to bring up something that I want you to help me explain because, for those of you that don't know, I will always defer to Gary. I think he is a little sharper. Dare I say, smarter than me sometimes.
Sharker. Sorry.
There's many times when we've watched movies in the past and he'll come back to me and say, you didn't see it this way, you didn't catch this. I'm like, oh yeah, now that makes more sense. Or, hey, Andy, turn on the subtitles. That movie would make more sense if you. So
that sounds
I'll defer that to Gary on certain things. And I don't mean that as any self-deprecation. He's sometimes sharper than me. So my notes going down there, I don't have a lot of them. But first thing I noted, and this is just a pet peeve of mine, again, with the angsty teenager, yawn. Oh gosh, I hate my life. My parents suck. Take me to Baja, California for a vacation. Oh, shut up. Just shut the F up. I'm so tired.
Although she had legitimate gripes when she actually got there.
Well, yes, but like just the griping about everything. Just shut. I'm so tired of this character. I'm not. And if all kids are this, like my daughter's grown now, and I mean, I don't know. Maybe she was that way. I said maybe I should. Maybe that's why it bothers me so much. It's too close to home. Alex, if you're watching, Daddy loves you.
He does. He talks about you all the time.
All the time. So one of my notes that just bothered me because I think it was I didn't see it. I'll overreacting. When they're on the oil rig and the one guy who looks like a what is he, Gary? Would you tell me the note was? Hold on.
My note was
let me pull it up.
Show a picture first.
Yeah. See if this makes sense after
we had very similar notes, which is hilarious. There you go. It's Josh Lucas and
two main guys
and Mexican William Shatner.
Mexican William Shatner. Which that doesn't do him justice, but when you're watching the movie, the whole time I'm like, that dude looks like a young Bill Shatner. That's great.
Yeah.
So these two are having a back and forth. And more than once, this guy here, Josh, overreacts to something. Like this guy was telling this myth about why this giant megalodon is coming up, and he's like, enough! I mean, out of nowhere, he starts screaming at him. Enough! That's enough! You don't play with your blah, blah, blah. You're scaring my kids and blah, blah, blah. And then, ooh, you're scary.
Yeah.
Easy. You were very quick to jump on that guy.
Yeah.
And he does this a few times. He does it again when him and his wife get into it. Mm-hmm. When they're all aware of the apparent danger that being stuck on this oil rig because you've awoken this creature that lived 200 million years ago, which is realistic. He yells at his wife like just insanely. You came out here. I told you not to come out here. You. It's your fault. The kids are in danger. And it's like,
yeah.
Easy, Chief.
Yeah.
Like somebody needs a cup of coffee, or maybe not as many cups of coffee. So that it just I don't know what you call it, if it was bad acting or just overreacting.
I don't know if it has anything to do with the sort of reveal. There's a reveal later in the movie. I don't want to spoil it in
Oh
case
yeah,
somebody goes
yeah,
watch
yeah,
it. I don't know if it has to do with that it's supposed to be his character is aware of certain things, and he's
yeah,
but even that I thought kind of played off a little lame when it's discovered.
yeah.
Um and it in that moment actually brings about one of the problems I have with this movie, where I felt like it wasn't so much built for entertainment, because there were so few real like moments of shark terror in the movie, like what you think you're there for, kind of. It feels more like a thinly veiled preach to us about you know
Environmentalism. Don't
environmental stuff,
stop
and
drilling. You're just like when they show the town has been destroyed.
yeah,
Like,
and I get it, but I mean, don't what's the whole there's a saying for this, but put lipstick on a pig or something, like you can't.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
this is not, don't try to sell, that's bait and switch. Hey, that kind of goes along with the whole fish thing.
It does.
It's a bait and switch for me. I feel like it tried to be a shark movie, adding the curse, the Aztec or whatever it was, curse involved,
The Thulo.
and the yeah, and the eco message. And because it couldn't ever land on one of them, it was kind of a mixture of everything. It fails on all accounts because it's not really delivering anything worthwhile. I just kind of felt like the characters were blah. I like Bill Shatner, Mexican Bill Shatner, the most out of the whole movie. I actually enjoyed him. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I think
I
this
think
whole time I
he's
was
good.
like, I can't get past the fact that he looks like William Shatner.
I get what you do. More guess, but what about the megalodon?
And here's the thing about Josh Lucas. I feel like I've seen him in stuff that I really liked him in. I thought he was a good actor.
Yeah.
But he does overshoot a lot of the acting in this movie. Initially my thought was maybe I'm gonna just change my background here. Initially I thought that, this was his kind of thought.
Wait, move your head.
Let me see.
Yeah.
I thought maybe I thought maybe that might be the thing, but I don't know. He may be just as much wrong with it. There was so much wrong with it. He could have easily played a part. I don't know.
Well, so I'll say this: unlike calling back to the Charlie Day movie we just talked about, Fool's Paradise, at least this one, I could see why you would take this movie, because at least you get to film it in Baja California.
Yeah.
Sunny, it's nice, not a bad location.
Yeah.
The other movie was filmed in the streets of LA, like Beyond.
Yeah.
But okay, so another note that I had that bothered me was they a la Jaws, which Jaws set the bar for shark movies, and if you can't come close to Jaws, I mean, keep trying.
3D.
Well, I mean, they kept trying, but they're trying to build up this intense, the suspense of this black demon, this massive, mastodon, or what's it called? Megalodon, not mastodon. Jesus.
Yeah, whatever.
They're petrified of this thing. The two guys
called Mastodon of the Sea. But
there you go. Thank you for the recovery. So you got Bill Shatner here and his partner. They're petrified. They've got little things about there's warning signs all over. They're petrified of this thing. And then Josh here says, "Well, we got to go down and fix this thing underneath the oil rig."
Right.
They jump right into bathysphere with zero hesitation. Like, all right, we'll go down.
Yeah.
There's a giant monster who won't let you leave this thing. You're afraid to go in, but all right, Josh says we got to fix this thing. So
yeah,
right, I guess we'll go.
Yeah.
Okay. So, because if I'm petrified, I'm like, how about you go, Chief? You go.
Are we going to run into spoiler territory? Because there's another issue.
You can. I mean, nobody's going to watch this movie.
Yeah, I don't know. There's the part where they get in the diving bell.
Yeah.
and the shark attacks the diving bell.
Yes.
And later, Josh Lucas' character is talking about, well, I'll just go down there and then I'll sneak over to the diving bell and hide because it's, whatever. And he ends up going over in some wreckage that's kind of floating there, and he goes up in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that shark took a whole diving bell, and destroyed it, and for some reason he can hide in this. I mean,
this fire escape ladder.
Yeah, which is essentially what it looked like.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. There's some logical leaps that didn't make sense, but then again, it's a movie about a curse and a huge shark doesn't exist anymore.
So there's that.
Allegedly. I don't know. I have no idea.
Another thing that bothered me, and I guess I just wasn't paying enough attention in the timeline, was, and again, spoilers, but no, you're not going to watch this movie, so I really don't care if I spoil it for you. And if you do, well, that's on you. I mean, it's been out. You should have seen it by now. So in the beginning, we're seeing these guys that are planting what we appear to be some kind of a timed bomb C4 thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what's the timeline between when they plant that and when they discover it and it hasn't gone off?
Right. Yeah.
Is it 30 days?
I don't know. I thought the same thing. I was like,
wait a minute. I forgot about it.
Me too. That's exactly what I did.
And
then when it came back, it was like, I thought maybe that thing had already gone off by now. What the hell's going on?
So I just forgot about it. And then Bill Shatner here says they're down there diving. His buddy's getting eaten by the megalodon, and he sees out of nowhere in this murky black oil-filled water, the light glowing on the other side of the pylon.
Yeah.
And he says, "Hey, look, I know this creature's trying to kill me. What's that?" I just killed my buddy. Hey, listen, hold on. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go check this real quick. And then he sees it, and it's still got 2 days. I mean, I don't know what the time. Like, who sets a bomb for 48 days? All right, month and a half from now, that thing's gonna go off, and we'll show them.
Yeah, that didn't make sense.
Okay,
that was a weird little kind of. It felt really a lot like we need to get this in here because this needs to be important for the ending.
Yeah, this is gonna make sense way at the end of this movie.
Worst foreshadowing ever.
When it's only got 10 seconds left, that makes all the sense in the world. I'm like,
hey, ironically, the timing on this, we're gonna have this go off at the perfect moment that we need it to.
Yeah, when he climbs into the fire escape.
Yeah.
Underwater. All right, it's all snapping into focus now. And the last thing I got was how many body parts were in the water? So you said there wasn't a lot of murder, a lot of dead bodies, but apparently, based on what the little girl fell into, and then oddly enough, Gary, which again, I don't know physics, don't claim to know anything about physics and how things sink and float in water. But when old was it Shatner here is looking at the bomb, all the little body parts come sinking down right at that time.
Yeah.
Now, weren't they just floating at the top? And they were floating because that's what they think body parts do, right? They don't sink. They kind of rise because we find them in real life. They're found floating up on beaches, right? I mean, I don't know. I don't have a ton of experience with cutting off people feet. People feet? I have all the words, Gary.
People feet.
Make note for post, people feet. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
I get it. I get it.
Why is it conveniently when you're looking at the timer on the bomb and you just saw your buddy get mauled? Here comes a foot.
I'm starting to
where did they all come from?
I'm changing my number the more we talk about this.
Where did they all come from?
Well, because the people that worked the oil rig got killed, apparently. But you only see a couple people get killed.
You that.
I know you only see a couple people get killed. Which I don't know. It's weird because there's the ship there's the one boat they come in on, and the guy's like, I'm not going out there, and
because luckily there's a dock in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, Josh Lucas makes it there pretty easy.
Yeah,
right. His boat doesn't get sunk until he's been there on the rig for a little bit.
Yeah,
and then but the other guy that comes out and brings the family instantly gets killed.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
there was some logical things there too that didn't make sense, but like I don't know, man.
Like the plot.
My number's changing.
Mine is too. As I'm talking to you, I'm looking at my number. I'm like, oh, I really can't talk this much shit about it and then give it the rating I was going to give it.
I mean, I was going pretty much down the middle, but now it's not down the middle. The more I'm thinking about, the angrier I'm getting about.
I think I'm angrier at this one than I was about the previous one.
I'm not.
Here's the thing I'll say. I did enjoy watching this movie, but these things that didn't make sense.
Yeah, that's part of the problem.
And that's hard. It's hard to say to somebody, yeah, watch this movie. You got about 10 questions, and I have no answers for them.
Right.
But knock yourself out.
Right. Yeah, there are some movies I'm like, hey, if this fits you, if this fits the person, I think, yeah, you could go watch this. You might enjoy it. This one, I think there probably is an audience for.
Yeah, those that are fresh off a lobotomy. I got to change my rating. I can't put that out there.
Oh,
those
man.
that are coming out of the anesthesia after getting a colonoscopy. This would be the perfect film to put next to them because it makes them want to leave.
Speaking of drugs, being drugged up, that was another confusing thing too. When the shark, sometimes you'd start having hallucinations when you're out there. What was that all about?
I forgot about that.
It's the jellyfish. What's that?
He touches it.
Yeah. That was confusing. I actually had a note about that, and I ended up erasing it at some point.
Like, I'm not going to talk about it.
Like, I don't want to discuss but
I forgot about the jellyfish.
Yeah, you meant that's what was. I was like, well, maybe that's. I was
thinking of
with the body parts or something. Maybe it was some sort of hallucination thing. I don't know, but
well, the other thing. So hold on. Now I'm gonna get mad. So going back to the fire escape, right? Yeah.
3 poos, 3.5 poo. 4 poo.
Yeah,
4.5.
I'm looking at my rating and ignore that. It's like getting a call from the first base coach going, "You want a bunt?" And I'm swinging for the fences now. When he goes to hide in the safety of a wire frame,
right?
I'm thinking, 'cause I thought this when I was watching the movie, like, just hide behind one of the pylons that's holding this rig up in the air. Like,
yeah.
Just swing. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to keep dodging, but I mean, he can't get you that. He can't bite through that and get you.
Right.
He's gonna hit it and tear it down, but you're trying to tear it down anyway. But I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know. I don't know how oxygen flippers work.
You weren't there.
I can't speak.
I don't know. I wasn't there. I mean, maybe there were some circumstances I missed.
I can't speak intelligently about the underworld.
He only had one fin left.
I mean, who God knows?
I don't know.
I know he only had 14 seconds of air left. So what do I
know? Yeah, and a sappy wrap up on that movie too. But anyway,
yeah, just move on. What's the next? What do we got to do to end this?
What to do? Let's rate this thing.
Jesus, I got to change mine now. You go first. I got to think.
All right, fine. I am moving mine. This is definitely not what I was intending, but it's going to here now.
Yeah, Jesus.
I will tell you, I did start off with a 3. So I wasn't super harsh that I felt on it.
But the more we talk about
it, more I'm like,
that did kind of not make sense.
I didn't hate the movie as I was watching it. But
I hated the writers.
But I also find myself, I don't know. It's like, this is not one of those movies that you think about. Like, we have to think about movies afterwards because we have to talk about movies afterwards. There are some movies you go to the theater and you see and they stick with you. And you, at the moment, you're like, I kind of don't like that movie. But as the days pass, you start thinking more about it. And you're like, wow, there were some, that one stuck with me or whatever. If we didn't have to talk about this movie would have left my mind the minute it was over, and I wouldn't be thinking about it again.
So luckily, you knew you had to talk about it.
And I wrote at the end of it, I wrote my number down. And then here we are rehashing the movie, and I'm like, now rehashing it, I'm getting a little. So yeah, so it's weird. It's a weird position to be changing in the middle of it. But yeah,
Listen,
I
I hope when you do the
Please go.
titling for this episode, I hope you put a film for those fresh from the lobotomy factory. Just leave it there and let people do what you want with it. I'll give you my rate. Let me find my rating here because I'm changing it as we speak.
Jeez, you just find the nearest one. All right, not too far off. 3.5 poo.
Here's my thing. I was at 2.5 because I would tell people, like, again, I always think of, would I tell my dad to watch this? And I love my dad, so I wouldn't want him to waste a lot of time. But
That's a lobotomy statement. Then you're like, I love my dad. So,
but if he's fresh off a couple of beers, maybe he would enjoy this movie.
I don't want him on his deathbed going, why the hell?
Andy, I've lived a good life.
Except for that black demon bullshit.
I don't have a lot of regrets, my son. You've been good to me. But I curse you to hell. Damn you to hell. No, I mean 3.5. I would say this because look, this isn't action packed. This kind of disappoints. This reminds me a lot of my marriages where it's like I don't regret that I watched it
not by the
or that
title.
I got married, but thank God they're over. So
not by the title.
this was the name of my second. The Black Demon would have been a perfect. No, if someone said I want a mediocre, disappointing action film, this is where I would lead them. I'd say yes, this will fulfill everything you just asked me for. Is it mediocre? Yes. Will it slightly disappoint you? It can. If you again go back to Gary's barometer of was I entertained? So okay, hold on.
Vaguely.
Now I got to rethink what I just said. Based on I watched this movie right after watching The Fool's Paradise. So compared to that, I was wildly entertained.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is such a fantastic change of pace.
The lead is talking. Anyway.
This movie gives me indigestion. So I'm going to stick with 3.5 poops. Should you watch it? Again, like I said about the Liam Neeson movie, if you've at the end of the internet, you've watched everything you can possibly think of, put this on. You won't be mad, but you'll be doing a few of these. Like, what the hell?
I'd say grab a tub of popcorn and a TV brick. You're going to use both.
Grab a real brick and hit yourself on the head. And then eat the popcorn.
Maybe a slight concussion makes this a better film. I can really relate to the jellyfish moment.
Oh, God, please, Gary, take us out of this thing.
Okay, anyway.
You want to do it?
No.
I watched your editing. You had made it work.
You've seen it. Thanks, everybody. We appreciate you joining us for another episode of Flick Flops. Join us next time. We are going to try to take on, man, this has been fun, taking on a couple crappy films.
It is more fun this way.
Yeah, it is more fun. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.